Good evening. Thank you, Rochelle, for setting this up for us. Welcome to New York City Public Schools Beyond Access series, Enhanced Community Support in the Impartial Hearing Order Implementation Process, January 7th, 2025. To start off today's presentation, we like to gather a little information from you through a quick poll. Rochelle, can you please launch the participation poll? Please answer by indicating whether you are a parent, parent attorney, parent advocate, service provider or agency, school, New York City Public Schools employee, or other. We see the responses coming in. Please note, this presentation was created to provide information to parents and parents represented by attorneys and advocates regarding specific processes for the implementation of impartial hearing orders. We'll give it a few seconds and then we will end the poll. Again, thank you all for responding to the poll. I'm going to briefly review the agenda. To begin, we will start with providing background of the LV order and move on to recent updates, share details about the newly formed IU Community Support and Engagement Team, including the IU Outreach Team staffed by New York City Public Schools vendor Nagaro. Also, an introduction of the SupportHub customer support platform, a new user-friendly online platform for parents, representatives, which include advocates and attorneys, and unrepresented pro se parents, followed by the implementation process and IU outreach process to include a review of each step of the implementation process, including the process for collecting information and supporting documentations. To build on that, there will be an overview of the SupportHub customer support platform and a live demonstration to show how users can use the platform step by step. And lastly, we'll end with a wrap up by providing some helpful tips. The presenters for this evening will be myself, Shakia Flanori, Senior Co-Director of Compliance and Community Support and Engagement within the Impartial Hearing Order Implementation Unit, Office of the General Counsel, Special Education Case Management.
I'll be speaking as well. I'm Patrick Sullivan, Senior Co-Director of Account Management, handling authorization, tuition, and reimbursement.
Good evening, Andre Burke, Director of Community Support and Engagement.
Everyone, I am from Nagaro and I will be conducting the live demonstration.
Thank you, team. Background, LV order. In recent years, New York City Public Schools has experienced a substantial increase in due process complaint filings. On July 19, 2023, a federal court order was issued requiring New York City Public Schools to make widespread improvements in supporting the implementation of impartial hearing orders. Key LV mandates include creating a customer support plan to facilitate the implementation process, improving processes and incorporating new workflows into trainings and communication to internal New York City Public School staff, as well as external stakeholders. Update training materials to align with changing policies. And this is what brought us here this evening. And now we'll turn it over to Andre Burke, our Director of Community Support and Engagement.
Thank you, Shakia. So I'm excited to present on the newly formed IU Community Support and Engagement Team. The IU Community Support and Engagement Team was created to centralize and streamline communications, enhancing the quality and responsiveness of the implementation during the implementation process. The team's mission is to serve as the first point of contact for implementation of impartial hearing orders. Second, initiate proactive outreach to parents and parent representatives, educate and inform the public about the implementation process, such as trainings like this, and also mass communications and updates to our website, foster transparency through all stages of the implementation process. So this is our organization chart. This is the culmination of work over several months. You already met our Senior Co-Director of Compliance and Community Support and Engagement, Shakia Flori, myself, Andre Burke, the Director of Community Support and Engagement. We have two dedicated IU team leads. We also have IU coordinators that will be staffed by temporary consultants until IU hires full-time staff for these roles, as well as the IU outreach managers and IU outreach agents are currently being staffed by Nagaro, a New York City public school vendor which specializes in customer service. So you learned about our staffing, and now we're just going to get into some of the technical tools that we use to support our team. So SupportHub Customer Service Platform. The SupportHub Customer Service Platform is being built in stages. In the future, the SupportHub will serve as a one-stop solution for self-service for parents and parent representatives, outreach by the implementation unit, inquiries from stakeholders regarding the implementation process. Today, we'll provide an introduction to this system. After this presentation, we'll provide users with additional training materials, including 1, training slides, 2, system user guide. Please note, this training recording will also be publicly posted. So continuing on, starting on January 8th, 2025, the following features will be available for parent representatives and pro se parents. Targeted outreach for payment action items. As soon as an order is received and reviewed by the implementation unit, the parent and/or their representative will receive outreach for each payment action item. SupportHub forms, user-friendly forms to submit parent-chosen vendor information and supporting documents for the authorization process. Users can also use these forms to submit updates about specific payment action items. Self-service tools, a dashboard that allows users to track the status of their forms. You'll receive more information on that following. Communication tools, a web chat with live agents to provide technical assistance, and multilingual support as a reflection of our various families and the diversity. Please stay tuned. We will send email announcements when we roll out new features. And I would like to pass it over to Patrick Sullivan.
Thank you, Andre. Good evening, everyone. Let's take a look at the implementation process as a whole and how these new exciting updates fit into that process. NYCPS due process payment mechanisms. There are various payment mechanisms during the special education litigation process. There are resolution agreements, settlement agreements, pay memos, pendency agreements and forms, and impartial hearing orders. Today we will focus only on the documentation submission process for pendency agreements, pendency forms, and impartial hearing orders, as these are the purview of the implementation unit. And what is an impartial hearing order? Parents of students with disabilities who are involved in a dispute about special education issues with New York City Public Schools can request a due process hearing, which is one of the ways that the dispute can be resolved. Like a trial, impartial hearings can end with a decision that is issued by a special education hearing officer from the Office of Administrative Trials and Hearings, otherwise known as OATH, or a New York State Education Department per diem impartial hearing officer. And the types of orders that they issue could be pendency orders or interim orders, which are issued at the beginning or in the middle of the litigation, or findings of fact and decision or statements of agreement in an order, which are issued at the conclusion of the litigation. And once an impartial hearing order is issued and received by the implementation unit, the implementation process begins. What is pendency? This is a term we hear a lot. The term pendency commonly refers to a student's entitlement to remain in their last agreed upon placement until the impartial hearing process is completed. Pendency is usually initiated in one of the following ways: a pendency form, which is issued solely by NYCPS, a pendency agreement, which is entered into by both parties, NYCPS and the parent via their representative, or a pendency order, which is issued by an impartial hearing officer. And how is pendency implemented? Pendency forms and pendency agreements. Often, pendency forms and pendency agreements are submitted to the implementation unit prior to a due process hearing by an impartial hearing officer. At that time, the implementation unit does not have the parent's chosen vendor information or the supporting documents that are needed to process the authorizations for the continuation of private school enrollment or services by a private provider. As such, IU will need to get that information and supporting documents directly from the parent and/or their representative. And this process occurs across 4 steps across 2 units, and it starts with the implementation unit. The workflow begins with step 1 with the IU compliance team. This team reviews and unpacks orders and identifies the action items required by them. If the action item requires that New York City Public Schools fund a service or program, an IU account specialist is assigned to review and create the funding parameters as required by the order. This process is commonly referred to as the authorization process. If the action item requires that New York City Public Schools provide a service directly, the office responsible for handling that work will contact the parent and/or their representative to set up these services. Step 2 of this workflow also occurs within the implementation unit with the community engagement team. Currently, the IU community engagement team is focused on outreach efforts. If an order requires that NYCPS fund a service or program, the parent and/or their representative will receive an outreach email confirming the details of each payment action item. The outreach email will contain a unique link tied to the specific payment action item for easy tracking. The parent and/or their representative may use the unique link in the outreach email to access a pre-populated form and submit the parent's chosen vendor information and supporting documents. This pre-populated form can be used instead of email submissions, which will save time and create efficiencies. This team is also responsible for engaging with community stakeholders on an ongoing basis. Step 3 of this workflow also occurs within the implementation unit with the IU account management team. When the form submission is complete, it is automatically transferred to the assigned IU account specialist. The IU account specialist reviews the vendor information and supporting documents to set funding parameters for the ordered services and programs. This administrative function is commonly referred to as authorization. Then the IU account management team, if an order requires the payment of tuition or reimbursements, will process those payments accordingly. If an action item requires the payment to independent service providers directly, this stage of the work, step 4, occurs with the Division of Financial Operations Payables Office. As of April 5th, 2024, the work of payment to independent service providers was transitioned to DFO Payables Office, otherwise known as DFO PO. The Payables Office receives vendor invoices and processes payments to independent service providers based on the funding parameters described previously. So let's take another quick look at this overview. An order is issued. The IU compliance team reviews and unpacks that order, identifies the action items required. The team enters these action items into a tracking system. Service action items are assigned to various NYCPS offices for implementation, and payment action items are assigned internally to IU account specialists. Then, the IU Community Engagement Team sends outreach emails for each one of these payment action items to parent representatives, such as attorneys or advocates, or pro se parents for those unrepresented. They will review the outreach email. They may use this unique link in the outreach email to access a pre-populated form and submit the parent's chosen vendor information and supporting documents if needed. Thirdly, the IU account management team reviews and verifies supporting documents submitted by the forms. They create authorizations for payments to independent service providers, and if an action item requires tuition payments or reimbursements to parents, they process these payments accordingly. A fourth step occurs with the Division of Financial Operations Payables Office, DFOPO, their billing team. They receive and review service invoices pursuant to authorizations for prospective services, and they process payments accordingly. And after that overview, I'm going to turn it back to our Director of Community Support and Engagement, Andre Burke.
Thank you, Patrick. And now I'd like to discuss IU outreach process. So what's next? Effective for pendency forms, pendency agreements, and impartial hearing orders issued on or after January 8th, 2025, New York City Public Schools will launch outreach through the SupportHub customer service platform. The parent and/or their representative will receive an outreach email for each payment action item once an order has been unpacked to facilitate the implementation process. The outreach email will be sent to the email address on file. The outreach email can only be sent to one email address. You may use the unique link in the outreach email to access the pre-populated form and submit the parent's chosen vendor information and supporting documents. For example, if an order requires funding for both 1, physical therapy, and 2, speech-language therapy, you will receive an email with the action item details for physical therapy and a separate email with the action item details for speech-language therapy. Continuing on, the outreach email will be sent from this email address: servicedesk@coms.schools.nyc.gov. Please add this email address to your known contacts to ensure that it does not go to the spam folder. Each outreach email will contain a unique link to the pre-populated forms that allows parent representatives and pro se parents to submit the vendor details needed to set up the authorization, also known as funding parameters. For parents that are entitled to reimbursement but have never received a payment from New York City Public Schools, the Direct Reimbursement Social Security Form, TRSS, is available through this link. If the parent has chosen a vendor that is not registered with New York City Public Schools, the W-9 form is also available through this link. If additional documentation is required by the order, the parent representative or pro se parent can use the form to upload the required documents. Key features: the dashboard. Users will have the ability to track the status of all tickets. Second, to sort by field to monitor progress, so you can customize to your liking. And third, export relevant data for additional review. Moving on to technical support. If you need technical support, you can visit the following website: https://supporthub.schools.nyc. You can also use the Rika chat with a live agent. The business hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's closed on New York City Public School holidays. You can also check a ticket status via the web chat. You can get support for technical issues such as a one-time password or OTP for errors. You'll hear more about that during our demo. You can get support for SupportHub form issues, and you can also update and change email addresses on file. Now I'd like to pass it over to Nagaro.
Thank you, Andre, and good evening, everyone. Before I dive into the live demo, I'd like to provide a quick overview of SupportHub customer service platform's features. I will also be elaborating each and every feature during the live demonstration as well. This is a screenshot of a sample initial outreach email, which is the very first step of this entire process. For each action item that is unpacked, an email will be sent by the community engagement team from the address servicedesk@coms.schools.nyc.gov to your email address we have on file. We request you to ensure this email address is added to your safe senders list to prevent this email from being directed to your junk or spam folders. This email contains all the essential details and next steps. We will also be reviewing its content during the live demonstration. Next slide, please. The image number 2 here is for accessing the SupportHub form, which is a simple and secure method using one-time password, OTP, which will be sent to your email on file. This is to make sure that only the authenticated users are able to access the form and not anyone else. Image number 3 here is for attachments option. The SupportHub form allows you to upload any attachments you wish to provide us with your request. Next slide, please. This is a sample layout of the SupportHub form. All the forms on SupportHub customer service platforms are very user-friendly and designed for your ease of use. Some sections in this SupportHub form will be auto-populated for simplifying the entire form filling process. During the demo, I will walk you through the form line by line to demonstrate how it works. Next slide, please. The form is also available in 11 different languages for your convenience, like English, Spanish, Chinese traditional, Chinese simplified, Bangla, Russian, Urdu, Arabic, Haitian Creole, Korean, and French. The screenshot shown here is for Spanish language. Next slide, please. This image number 5 here is for a snapshot of a dashboard, which is going to be your central hub for managing all your tickets. You can view and manage all the tickets here seamlessly without any trouble. Next slide. The SupportHub customer service platform also offers a unique feature to connect with live agents for technical assistance through a web-based chatbot, Eureka, which is what you see in the image on this slide. Next slide. If you are a ProSe parent, you can also request a callback to schedule a call with one of our agents. The link of this callback form will be available in the initial outreach email, which is what you see as highlighted in this image. Clicking on this link in the email will open the callback form. Next slide, please. This is the image of the callback form. You can just provide your phone number and the reason for callback and submit this request. Now let's jump into the live demo, and for that I will share my screen. Just give me a moment to share my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen. This is the sample initial outreach email, which will have all the details. This initial outreach email will have details like your case number, your action item type, whether it's for prospective payments or reimbursements. There'll be a ticket number, which will start from RITM followed by numerics. The email will also have the student's detail like student name, student OSIS number, and the email will also include the action item details which are specified or provided in the order. In this email, you will also see a hyperlink, which is a unique hyperlink of the SupportHub forms. You can just click on this hyperlink to open the SupportHub form. And then there also be another hyperlink down below, which will be the hyperlink for dashboard. And you can click on this link to access your dashboard. Let me first click on the SupportHub form link. Once you click on it, you will be redirected to a new tab where you will have to authenticate yourself by a one-time password, which will be sent to your email on file. Let me go back and fetch the OTP code. OTP code is the 6-digit numeric code. You can copy that code and you can paste that code in this field and then click on this verify OTP button. Once you verify yourself, the SupportHub form will load on the page. The form has 5 different sections. The first section is case information. The second section is request information section. The third section is student information. Fourth section is service provider information. And the last section, which is 5th section, is additional information section. At the top, you will also see language selection options available. If you wish to see this form in any of the 11 languages, you can just click on the drop-down and then select your desired language. For example, if I click on the Spanish option here, this form will be loaded in the Spanish language. You can see the form is loaded in the Spanish language. Now let me change back to English. The first section and the second section, which is case information section and requester information section, will be auto-filled with the information that we have for the logged in user, so that you do not have to fill this information manually by saving time. The first section will have impartial hearing case number and the action item details that was available in the initial outreach email. Second section, which is request information section, will show the requester's first name, requester's last name, requester's email ID, and requester's type, whether it's parent representative or parent. And if it is a parent representative, then the law firm or the agency name. The only thing that you will have to fill in this section is your phone number or any extensions if there is any. The third section is student information section, where student's first name, last name, and student OSIS number will also be auto-filled. Student's last name and student's OSIS number will be masked out. If you want to verify those details, you can just click on this show button and see the last name of the student, as well as click on this button to verify the student OSIS number. You can click on the hide option again to hide those details. The only thing that you'll have to fill in this section is whether this request is for single school year or multiple school year. You can make your selection by selecting these toggle options. If it is for multiple school year, you can click on multiple toggle, and then you can click on this school year drop-down, and you can select your school years by clicking on these checkboxes. Or if it is for single school year, you can set the toggle to single and select your desired school year. Section number 4, which is service provider information, is the section which you can use for provide us the information for the service agencies who is providing you the services. The first field in this section is, will multiple agencies be providing these services, with the drop-down options of yes and no. If multiple agencies are providing you services, you can select the value yes. If it is just a single agency providing the service, you can select no. If it is multiple agencies, you will be asked to provide us, or you can provide us the multiple agency details, which I will walk you through on the next page. The next field is agency name. You can use this field as to provide the agency name. The next field is provider name. This field can be used to provide us the name of the provider. The next field is email address. You can add the email ID of the agency providing services. The next field is business address. You can provide the address of the agency with apartment number, city or borough, state, and zip. The next field is for tax identification number, TIN. You can provide us the TIN of the agency who is providing the services. If it is not a registered payee, you can just click on this W9 form link, which is shown here. The W9 form will open in a separate tab. You can download this form, fill up this form, and attach this form along with this request, which I'll show you how to make the attachments. The next field is service type. You can add details like SEIT or sets or whatever is given in the order. So you can use this field to provide us the service type details. The next field is award type. It is a drop-down which has two values, mandated services or compensatory services. You can select mandated services if the services are recurring in nature or on a regular basis, or if it is awarded as a compensatory services, you can select compensatory services. The next field is for length of session in minutes. You can specify whether it is a 30-minute session, 45-minute session, or 60-minute session. The next field is for dollar rate per session. You can specify whatever is the service provider charging you per session. And then the last field in this section is service initiation date. It is a date picker. You can click and select the service initiation date from this date picker. Allow me a moment to fill up this section. I have filled up the service provider information section, and now I'm moving on to the next section, which is additional information section. This section can be used for providing us any additional information that you wish to provide us, which is not specified in the above form. This is not a mandatory section and can only be used if you wish to share any additional details with us. The last option in this form is this checkbox that you see here. You will have to click on this checkbox. This is to make sure that the information that you are providing us is complete and accurate so that there is no back and forth between you and us for swiftly processing your request. You would also see an option for attaching attachments. There's a link here which says add attachments. You can click on this option to load a popover, which can be used for providing or attaching any attachments with this form. You can provide us attachments like the service provider certification or license or the W9 form by just dragging and dropping your files in this area or clicking on this icon to select your file. Let me select a file that I would want to upload here. Once your file is uploaded, you will see a green tick here, which means that your file is successfully uploaded. You can click on this OK button to upload your file, and you will also be able to see the uploaded file at the bottom of the form. Lastly, you will just have to click on this checkbox which says I am not a robot for security purposes. And then you can click on the submit button to submit this request. Once you click on the submit button to submit this request, you will see a confirmation message that your ticket is successfully submitted, and you'll also be shown the ticket number. And then you can click on OK button to complete your submission. Once you click on this OK button to complete your submission, you will be redirected to the next page, which is the ticket details page. On this page, you'll be able to see all the details that you had submitted with the form. There are three key things that you can do on this page, which is if the request was for adding multiple service providers for the service, you can use this button which says service provider. You can click this button to open a new form and provide all the details for the additional service providers for the service. You can also cancel a particular request. For example, if you were not seeking reimbursements and you wish to cancel a particular ticket, you can click on the cancel button, which is shown at the top here. And then the last thing that you can do on this form is if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you will see an update section, which is this. You can expand this section, and then you can use this input field and attachments popover to provide any additional details that you might have received after submitting a particular request. For example, if you received any additional information for a vendor, or if you received any additional documents from a vendor and you wish to share the same with us after submitting your request, you can use this input field and the attachments option to provide those details. And then you can click on this add comments button to provide those details. Once you submit these details from this section, these details will be sent to us for further review. The next highlight of the SupportHub customer service platform is our dashboard. So for accessing dashboard, you can go to the same initial outreach email and just use the link that is provided to you. When you click on this dashboard link, which is this, your dashboard will be launched. And your dashboard will have list of functionalities, and it will also show you all the tickets that are created for you, like what you see here on the screen here. All your tickets will be listed basis on the case number, the ticket ID and name, student's first name, last name, student OSIS number, the status of the ticket, and if a ticket is first outreach completed, then the date of the first outreach completion. And then there'll be certain call to action buttons. You can click on these three dots and you'll be able to see additional options, like if you wish to add any comments on a ticket, or if you wish to print a ticket, or if you wish to cancel a ticket. You will also have options to filter your tickets on your dashboard by clicking on this filter drop down. Once you click on it, you'll be able to see different statuses that are available for you to filter on. For example, the first status is new. Once a ticket is created and the initial outreach email is sent to you, the ticket status is always in new. Once you have filled up the SupportHub form and submitted the request from the SupportHub form, the ticket status is updated from new to in progress. If you have not submitted the request within first 90 days of the initial outreach email, the SupportHub link in the email gets expired and the ticket status is updated to expired. A ticket can also be requested to put on hold by a parent representative. And if a parent representative doesn't have information handy with them and wants us to put a ticket on hold, they can request up to put a ticket on hold, and the ticket status is updated to on hold. Once a ticket is submitted from the SupportHub portal, it comes to us for review. And once we have done the preliminary review, then the ticket status is updated from in progress to first outreach completed, which means that we have received the information and we have done the preliminary review. A ticket can also be generated in error, for example, any administrative or clerical errors. So those tickets are invalidated and the ticket status is updated to invalidated. And lastly, a ticket can also be cancelled, like what I showed you from the dashboard. If you have cancelled a particular ticket, then a ticket status can be updated to cancelled. You would also have another option from your dashboard, which is export. If you wish to export your ticket in an Excel format, you can click on this option and you will get an Excel file on your email on file. There's also a search option that you see at the top of the dashboard. You can search a ticket based on the ticket ID, ticket name, or ticket description. So for example, let me just copy the ticket number that is available to your initial outreach email. For example, this one. And you can paste it here and click on enter. You'll be able to search or filter the ticket based on the ticket number, like what you see here right now. In future, we will also be expanding this search feature to include case numbers as well, so that you will be able to search on case numbers as well. Another unique feature of SupportHub customer service platform is our Eureka web chat. You would see an icon at the extreme right corner of the page, which is this. You can click on this Eureka web chat to launch our chatbot. Once you click on it, you will be able to see two options. The first one is IT technology support, and the second option is impartial hearing implementation support. You can click on impartial hearing implementation support button here. Once you click on this button, you will be shown with two options. One is ticket status, and the other one is request for technical assistance. Ticket status button is available for you to check the status of any ticket 24/7. What you will simply have to do is you can just click on this ticket status button, and you will be asked to provide the ticket number, which starts with RITM. So let me just provide the same ticket number. And once you click on this icon, you will be shown the ticket status, which is you will be able to see the ticket ID, the name, the action item details that you saw in the email, as well as the ticket status, which is in progress, which means that we have received the information and we will be reviewing those information. If you wish to connect with a live agent, what you can do is you can click on the request for technical assistance button, which is this. Our technical assistance team or agents are available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding NYC public school holidays. Once you click on this button, your chat will be transferred to a live agent, and the live agent will join this chat. The live agent will introduce themselves, and then you can start chatting with the live agent. Since the desk is closed as of now, so if you click on this button when the desk is closed, you will receive a message that thank you for contacting us. Please note that the service desk is currently closed. Our hours of operations are as follows. And you can connect to the desk whenever the desk opens, which is 9 to 5. These are all the key features that I wanted to show in this live demonstration. And with this, I conclude this live demonstration. I hope this SupportHub customer service platform provides you an enhanced and seamless experience. Thank you for your time today. And now I will be stopping my screen share, and I will hand over back to my colleague, Andre.
Thank you, Nugaro. Helpful tips for effective implementation. How to ensure a smooth implementation process. Key steps for parents and parent representatives. 1. Review the order. Carefully review the impartial hearing order and verify the details regarding reimbursement, direct payments, payment amounts, timelines, and any other requirements. Check the Help Us Help You authorization guide. This guide contains a list of information and supporting documents that IU needs to process the authorization. 3. Respond to the IU outreach team. First, review the initial outreach email with the specific action item details. If the parent has selected a private provider, submit the vendor information and supporting documents if needed. Second, if the IU outreach team sends an email requesting clarification or additional information, please respond promptly. Third, ensure timely responses to communication from the IU outreach team to avoid delays. Fourth, once authorized, these payees will receive an authorization email. They should review it to confirm their understanding of the funding parameters, that is, rate, service types, dates, etc. If there are any discrepancies in the authorization, they should promptly notify their parent and/or their representative to coordinate directly with IU. Once authorized, independent service providers should submit their invoices to DFO Payables Office in accordance with DFO procedures. And lastly, the DFO Payables Office provides a monthly vendor report to all payees, including vendors, parents who receive reimbursements, and law firms receiving payment via escrow. Use this monthly report to help with your reconciliation of payments. So we welcome your feedback. Please take a moment to scan the QR code listed, and also the address of the survey will also be available in the chat for your use. If you have to leave, this presentation will be posted on the Beyond Access Series YouTube channel on Thursday. But if you choose to stay, there will be some additional resources that I would like to share. Additional resources. Beyond Access Series, Impartial Hearing Orders, how do they get implemented? Training date, May 22nd, 2024. The recording of this presentation is available at the following link. The New York City Public Schools website is listed. The IU Authorization Guide earlier. City of New York Substitute W-9 form and the Direct Reimbursement Social Security form, also known as DRSS, is there. We briefly went over some of the ticket statuses, but I can go through them again. So if the status is new, the order has been received by IU, unpacked, and assigned for implementation. Thus, the IU outreach team will reach out to you to initiate the implementation process. The email notification will be sent from servicedesk@coms.schools.nyc.gov. Next status, on hold. The first outreach email was sent, and the parent representative or pro se parent requested that the ticket is put on hold. Canceled. The first outreach email was sent, and the parent representative or pro se parent has requested that the ticket is canceled. Next is expired. The first outreach email was sent, but the ticket expired due to unresponsiveness for 90 days. In progress. The first outreach email was sent, and parent representative or pro se parent has submitted the form. The IU outreach team will coordinate a preliminary review to determine the next steps. First outreach completed. The first outreach was conducted by the IU outreach team, and parent representative or pro se parent submitted the form. The submission was transmitted to the IU account management team to review and process the authorization. And finally, invalidated. Your ticket has been invalidated due to an administrative or clerical error. Please refer to your email for additional information. We thank you once again for joining us. Have a great evening.